Hello there, Andrew Hood here. Hope you're doing well. Today I want to talk about a topic that doesn't get talked about enough, and that is musicians and saving money on tax. Now, I find it really sad when there's lots of people I know, musicians or writers or whatnot, and they're spending too much money on tax. And they don't bother to get it back. You know, music is like, oh, it's a passion. I don't mind. You know, or oh, it's it's a hobby, or it's a little thing. I just do it for the love of it. But music is one of the things that makes the world go round. It's one of the most important art forms that we have as humans. And in order for you to be able to pursue that, whether it's a passion or a career, you need to be making the most of the money that you make and having it help you and sow seeds into the future of your music business and your career. So I wanted to make a video on it, and hopefully this helps you. So like other self-employed individuals or business owners, musicians are eligible for lots of different tax deductions. I'm going to run through a whole stack of them here, so hope you've got a pen and pencil or notepad or something to take notes with, because this will help you, which means that when it rolls around to the end of the year and your accountant gets your list of deductions, it's good for you, it's good for them, and it means you can do more music in the following years to come. So number one is business expenses. So instruments and equipment. If you're buying new guitars, picks, strings, cases, any of that sort of stuff, it's a tax deduction because you're using it for your craft, and you have to treat your musical passion as a business. So you are looking at wanting to make a net positive out of it, and if you want to make money out of it, then you need to make sure that you count the expenses as well. That's responsible. You would never talk to a business owner who kept no track of expenses or just went, oh, that's all right, I'll just pay for it and pay tax. You wouldn't hire that business person. And the same goes for musicians. Whether you're working weddings or gigging or teaching or touring, whatever it is, it's just responsible to do that. And you deserve to have that money sow back into your business and do well for you. The other thing that can save you money is if you're buying sheet music or scores music. That is, those are materials that you use within your business, whether it's for gigs or teaching and whatnot, whether it's in studios or writing. Those things are important. You need them, and they are business deductions as well. The same thing with hiring a studio. Whether you are the person in there recording, or you're hiring to record somebody else, or you're hiring someone to do your mastering or mixing or editing, those things are all tax deductions, and you should be making the absolute most of those so that you can continue to do what you love to do and what you're really good at. Now, this is one of my favorite ones, and that is the home office deduction. Now, so many of us, especially over the last few years, have been working from home. So whether you're working over Zoom or whatever that looks like for you, whether you've got a dedicated home space, there's quite a few home office deductions that you can work with. So one of them is that, and this works particularly well if you're renting a space, because you can get to end of tax time and you can claim a portion of rent as a deduction because you have an office from home. And it's helpful from time to time to take photos of your home office and where you spend your time writing or recording or filming, all of those things. And then that also contributes to things like your power bills and water bills and electricity, because you use those things as you're creating and as you're writing and performing. So all of those things need to be taken into account and put forward to your accountant. Look, there's rules. There's going to be different rules in every country. So wherever you're watching this, make sure you talk to someone who knows what they're doing. You don't want to be stung by the government for trying to avoid tax. That's not what we're doing. We're not avoiding tax, we're minimizing tax. There is a big difference. So don't forget that there is home office deductions. And then again, that's if you're using furniture. So if you've got, a desk and a chair and you're getting specific lamps or things like that, all of those things matter. So make sure that you tally those things up when you set yourself up or when you buy them, because they will make a difference further on in the future. The next one, again, not so relevant in the last couple of years, but relevant again now, is travel expenses. So depending on what you're doing, if you are driving or you're flying or you're to a bus, maybe you're on a cruise ship or something, who knows, all of those things are going to be tax deductions for you, because you're using those things to pursue where the work is. You have to go where the work is. A lot of the time as a musician, you're traveling. And so using those things as deductions is really important and crucial. And again, if you already own a car or you're borrowing a car, you claim back those miles of fuel, and you may need to keep a logbook or something similar, but all of that makes a difference. And then again, if your meals and accommodations, so if you're meeting with a client or you're meeting with, with the band or with another writer, or you're doing a coffee meeting with someone in PR or an A&R person or whatnot, a label executive, then all of those things are going to be tax deductions for you. So it's a little bit different because, their meetings and food can be a bit of a grey area as far as tax codes go, but it's worth holding onto those receipts because you'd rather have something than nothing. The next thing is when you get to promotion and marketing. So if you're setting up a website, or you have social media and you're running ads, or you're paying someone to help you edit videos or record covers, or someone to film you or do a Instagram live or something like that, then those things are going to be deductions for you, because you're using the technology and using that as promo material. Same thing if you were to do business cards or flyers, those sorts of things that you're using to drum up business for you in your career, whatever you end up doing. So whether that's, booking more gigs or handing out flyers for weddings or those things, you want to make sure that you deduct the cost of those from the money you're making, so that you walk away A, with a profit, and B, hopefully with a refund back from the government for money that they're taxing you. Another thing you can do is to minimize the education and training. If you're taking courses or you're paying for lessons, you can use those things as deductions because it's professional development. So if you're getting guitar lessons, or you take a course where you can learn how to edit videos, or maybe you're learning how to do mixing or mastering or video editing, those things are all relevant to your industry as training mechanisms, so you can use those as deductions as well. So we're getting quite a few things here, which is good. I want you to be able to have lots of different deductions that you can use in your year-end tax returns, so that you're not paying more tax than you have to, and you have the availability and the resources to sow back into your craft. Okay, next is professional fees. So that might be, you might have an agent, depending where you are in the world, you might be part of a union, so there's membership fees for those things. There might be fees for management, there might be fees for a booking agent. All of those fees are tax deductible because you are using them in the growth of your business and the day-to-day running of your business to make sure that you have a good steady flow of work coming your way. Now look, some managers are going to take their clip before you get paid, so that's a little bit different. But if you're getting the full payment and then paying a referral fee afterwards, always make sure that the referral fee that you paid is noted, so that you can make sense of that on your books at the end of the year, when you're doing all of your responsible bookkeeping. Another thing is insurance. So again, this depends on where you are in the world, but if you need professional indemnity insurance, or working with children's checks, or insurance for your instruments, and especially while you're traveling, those things are going to make a big difference to you as well. Those things are deductible. because they are tools that you use in your craft, and you need to protect them. And you can't work if you don't have your tools. So it's a good thing to have those all protected, and you are in a strong position to replace them with the next best thing when and if the terrible thing happens where you lose an instrument, whether that's traveling or it gets damaged or stolen. You're covered in all of those situations. Another one, which is one of my favorites, this is music production, software and technology. So if you're, buying Pro Tools, or you've bought Logic, or you're buying recording gear, whether that's interfaces or microphones, from a software side of things, if you're using Logic or Pro Tools, as I mentioned, if you're buying plugins, and you're using notation software, if you're paying for a premium version of Zoom, or any charting or notating software, all of those things need to be taken into account as part of your tools and the equipment that you use in your business. It all makes sense. It boils down to money at the end of the day, and you want to make sure that you're getting as much back of that as you can. And then there's also legal and professional fees. So if you are meeting with a lawyer, which depending on the line of work you're in is going to be really important and crucial. So if you're looking at getting into publishing and writing and contracts, that side of the business, a lawyer is going to be a non-negotiable, because you do not want to be signing a contract that has areas you don't understand. Lawyer speak and jargon is a whole other language, and you want someone who is fluent with all of those words and understands the business you are in, to make sure that you're not saying yes to something that you shouldn't be saying yes to. That's your lawyer's job. That's what you pay them for, and that is why you can get that money back, because you're trying to benefit your business and make the most out of it. So don't forget to do that as well. So in summary, I would say my best advice, having done this for quite a long time now, I take down all of my expenses, at the end throughout the year. So another example of this, little bonus tip for you, is if you are spending money on streaming services. So whether you have YouTube Premium or Spotify, or you have iTunes purchases, Apple Music, Tidal, whatever they are, if you use those in your day-to-day work, as I do, you're listening songs to chart them, or you are doing research on songs that are in the industry, you're watching documentaries, you're using playlists to see what sort of similar music's out there, you might be researching music to play a gig, listening to songs or reference tracks for producing. All of that software is a deduction for you, because you're using it in your line of work. So that'll be my bonus tip. Don't forget to take note of those subscription services. Put it all in a spreadsheet, all of your deductions with dates, how much you spent, the name of the service, and then at the end of the year, end of financial year, you have a very neat, clean final figure for deductions to give to your accountant, and you'll be their best friend, because their other clients don't do this. Their other clients have to dig deep to try and find out how much money's being spent by their clients and what they're spending it on. And you're going to be miles ahead of anybody, which means that time spent with your accountant is shorter. So hopefully that's less money as well. And you are going to be able to file your taxes quicker, get your money back quicker, and get back to what you love doing quicker. So all in summary, make sure you do all of those things, keep great notes, make sure you talk to an accountant to make sure all of this works for you in the country or county or state, city that you are in. And I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. I look forward to talking to you in the next one. Thanks.